All right, welcome back everyone. Chris Sawyer here, Sommelier to the Stars, that's you guys. SawyerSomm.com, my great series here during our interesting times in the 2002 period here. I got a couple glasses here for me and my great friend Eric Sussman. You guys might know him very well for Radio Coteau and these fine wines that we just tasted here. We got the County Line Rosé, which he makes. That's County Line Rosé, or County Line, what is it? Eric, it's your website is County Line Vineyards. And then also the Radio Coteau wine that he has put a name on across the United States. This is in every great wine list and across the nation. A lot of respect to this man for being a great winemaker. Eric obviously comes here to the great Gravenstein Grill often because he lives in Occidental, right up on the ridge right over there. And unfortunately, Eric and I can't be like sitting next to each other like at the bar where we're having a really good cocktail together. When he gets time off and I get time off, we just need to catch up. John Dierke, our great friend, is in here, and we need to just hang out with him. He's the great produce grower down the road. And we want to kind of talk today a little bit about something else that Eric does, and something about John and what he really brings to us here at Gravenstein Grill when we are open, and that is produce. And why is Sonoma County not only known for great wineries and Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and world-class rosés and Cabernet and everything more inland, but why do we have such a good stronghold on produce, and especially types of grapes and apples and things like that? This restaurant is named Gravenstein Grill for a reason. Gravenstein apples. Gravenstein apples are amazing. That way, in our bar, it's called the Bartlett Bar. Go figure why. That's something that Luther Burbank actually started the Bartlett pears here in Sonoma County. So it's really an interesting place to do these things. And here comes Eric, a Cornell University graduate, knows a lot about agriculture, loves wine. His destiny is here to be making great wines for us, as he did. And this one is the La Neblina, which got top 100 wine and spirits competition. It's not a competition, it's just their top 100. But it is a competition, the fact that they take all their best wines that they taste each year, and they really kind of figure out what are the best ones that we tasted of all of those. That's one of the top 100 of the world right there. But yet, you like some other things, don't you? You like cider, my friend.
We've been, outside of, I say beyond the vine, we've looked into growing other kinds of food, and we have apple trees on the farm. We also have growers that we work with. John Dierke in the past has provided some apples for the cider. And so we started making the cider a few years back. The brand name is called Eye Cyder, EYECYDER, and it's all naturally fermented, unsulfured, unfiltered cider, and we do seasonal co-ferments. So the one that we're going to try today is called Skins and Stones, and that's a co-ferment of, here you go, that's a co-ferment of Satsuma plums and Gravenstein apples.
So this is a new one. So we've had the apple-based one with a little bit of pine in there too.
We've had the fresh tips, which is the fresh picked redwood tips, which is done with a Solera kind of multi-vintage apple barrel-aged cider. And then this one is a co-fermentation of, like I said, Gravenstein apples and Satsuma plums called Skins and Stones.
Skins and Stones.
6% alcohol. We can say rock bottom dry.
One of the first things I think you guys are seeing here is you look at most ciders, first thing you're thinking is golden color. Yeah. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, you're seeing a little bit like pale gold now, but you're not seeing a color like this very often. Yeah. So what inspired you to make one with plum?
So basically, as the season progresses, and the Gravensteins are great apples for us to work with because they come in before the grapes. And actually, when the Gravenstein apples are ripening in this area, Satsuma plums are also ripening. And it was just a friend shared this idea with us, and we picked some plums and we picked some apples. We pressed the apples, got the juice, and then we just plopped the plums right in the vat of fermenting apple juice, and they co-ferment together.
Wow.
And it creates like a rosé cider.
Wow, it's really amazing. It just has a lot of density to it. You know, it's almost like it is crisp. Do not get me wrong, and it's about as dry as you get. I mean, it is bone dry. But the fact is, it is very mouth-filling, which is great. Is that like the skins have a lot to do with it, because it does have some tannins on it. This has got some tannin power, and you're like, oh, whoa, this is really a cider. Indeed, it is.
Yeah. And so we're doing, as Chris mentioned, we do the fresh tips, which is the Gravenstein and the fresh redwood tips each spring that we pick off.
Amazing.
And infuse in the cider. We do another one that comes in the fall with quince, pineapple guava, which is feijoa, also another name for it, and Rome apples, and that's called quince eye feijoa. And then we do one with blackberries and Gravenstein called bramble eye. Yeah. So we're also playing with some apple brandy.
Yeah. So. Kind of crazy how you think you know this guy because of this. There's a little bit more to this man than you think. It's been a great pleasure getting to know him for sure. But also tasting this wine, and you see that it brings up olives to me, and it's really interesting how when you do hummus and things with hummus with pomegranates in it, things like that. This would be a really, really interesting pairing. And it also did remind me a lot more of pomegranates too, because of pomegranate chicken, which I love, especially Armenian style pomegranate chicken. I think that's really something. But if I was to do a hummus with this, I wouldn't want it to be that creamy, actually. I'd want it to be a little bit more coarse to go with this. I mean, I feel like it's got that tension in here. It has tension, like we talk so much about Pinot Noirs with tension. What is tension? I don't know. But it's not, the tannins are part of it. It's also the acid and how the tannins and acid work together. And I feel like this is just such a grown-up kind of cider that we're drinking right now. Something that you put a lot of thought into, and there's a lot of detail in this cider. It's not your typical cider that you find at every mom and pop's liquor store at all. This is a real handmade style.
Right now this is just on tap. And we're just working on the bottling, so this is some of the first released in bottles.
We were one of the first places that he said, you gotta taste this stuff.
Yeah.
We were very excited about this one, and these are the kinds of things that we get here in Sonoma County. Why Sonoma County is an amazing destination. We're very lucky to live here, but we want you guys to come here too more often. And it's great when Eric comes in here and we get to share some times and just check on each other. And this is one of those times that I felt like it was really important for you guys to get to know what's going on out here. Obviously, we're still making these products because fruit grows here in Sonoma County. Do not doubt that. But we were talking a little bit about the Dierke Ranch too, and you and I know that very well. You do a great wine from there, and for us at the restaurant here, we do a lot of our micro greens come from there, and it's really something. So it's really something important for you guys to know, is that these relationships are so important for us to survive in these times. So tell us a little bit about John, because he's such an interesting.
John Dierke is an amazing friend, grower, mentor. He has a great site, West Sebastopol. We actually make a Pinot Noir from his site called Dierke, and then we also make a Syrah from his site called Dusty Lane. And he grew up in Sebastopol, and is a hands-on farmer. When we have some equipment issues, he's out there helping us too on our own farm, and also a mentor in terms of diversifying his farming efforts. So apples, vegetables, grapes, and he's doing it. So
he's an amazing guy. A lot of people don't know that he was very high up there at San Francisco State University.
Dr. Dierke.
Dr. Dierke. I mean, that's who we got here, Dr. Dierke. I mean, the man is real. And the fact is, he comes into the restaurant all the time too, and he's a great provider of us for us. This farm to table stuff is not BS, you guys. This is really how we live here, and it's really important that we continue to be self-sustaining, because we have no choices at this point. We know that we can here in Sonoma County. We do have agriculture other than just grapes, but you guys out there that love grapes and love wines, I mean, we're happy to provide them for you too. But it's staying alive here is really interesting, and but we do have the produce and we do have these things. I mean, you raise turkeys, and there's great farmers that have pigs that we know, and there's people that I know that have great venison sausage from the deers they hunted, this past season. And it's how we live. We got to do it, and we got to move along as we go. But it sure is good to have a fine cider to be able to do that with now, isn't it?
Sure is.
Well, I really appreciate you being here, Eric, and it's just, it's always great catching up with you, and I wanted you guys to get to know what's really happening. Eric, tell us, just in finishing point here, going back to the wine part and what's happening there. So we're here, it's going to be the 1st of May. May's coming up right here.
Yeah.
So what are you doing right now?
Yeah, so in the vineyard, we just finished our suckering pass, and we're starting to get ready to lift catch wires. The vines, the soil's warming up, and the vines are really starting to grow. So it's full on farming season, and we're planting our garden beds now for the summer crops, and that's pretty intensive and time sensitive. In the winery, we're taking care of the 2019s and getting ready to bottle the last of the 2018s, and then prepping for 2020. It's just around the corner, and things are moving forward. And
moving fast.
Our team at Ready Coteau is an amazing group of people, and everyone's all hands on deck, and everyone's moving forward in great form. So we're grateful to have such an amazing team, and looking forward to the new vintage.
Yeah, me too. It's it looks good out there, you guys, as far as this vintage goes so far. But it's hard to predict anything. We've got enough rain to make it by. We'd like to have some more, to be really honest. And the chances are we will get some. But then we got to go into it. It is a little concerning just because it is dry. So we need to be very cautious of fires and everything. Sonoma County, we've had a few lately that haven't been that fun to deal with. But it's something that's really important for you guys to understand out there, is that it doesn't end for winemakers. They've got to produce what was in those barrels, to clean those barrels out and to get ready to put new barrels in, or to take those and kind of reuse them in a different way. And bottling is an issue right now in this time. And think about people that have to wear masks and be away from each other, like us too. It's a rough time right now. But we have to be, we have to just do our jobs. And for me, it's just being supportive of people like this, and really introducing you to some things that they're doing right now that are really important to me. That's why I think that this is Skins and Stones. You guys see this out at your great bars and the great restaurants out there that really do wines by the glass, and they really have the thing about doing cider too. That's an amazing thing, and these kinds of wines that he makes under the Radio Coteau label, and obviously the County Line Vineyards label. These are very important things to us here in Sonoma County, and it's important to just be supportive of everyone, not just me being supportive for Eric, but also for John Dierke, the great grower of vegetables and fruit and those things for all of us. So it's really about building support and being here for each other. And we're lucky to say that we can, even though we don't have these seats filled right now, and Eric and I can't be there at the bar having a fun time and talking and laughing and everything too close to each other. But we look forward to those days, and we look forward to you guys getting to know more of these wines and this great cider right here. So thanks for being here with us once again, and without further ado, I will say goodbye once again. Thank you, Eric, once again. And this is the great brand we're talking about, Skins and Stones, Eye Cyder.